unpredictable, and cussed, like women, you know?
Oh, we don't want to do that. When I look at that person, I'm not even going to be able to remember the boy who broke up with me over the phone in 25 seconds when I was 18.
Anybody saying that a song is about a specific person is purely speculating.
All right. This makes me feel so bad about myself.
I'm not gonna walk home with any men tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and then I go home to the cats.
No men allowed.
Men get me in trouble.
Taylor Swift has been underestimated, patronized, and openly insulted on camera for the better part of 2 decades. And she has spent that entire time quietly dismantling every single person who tried it. Not with shouting, not with tears. With a calm, surgical precision that usually leaves the other person still smiling before they realize what just happened to them. And somewhere in Kansas City, Travis Kelce has been taking notes. Because if there is one man alive who understands that you simply do not test this woman in a conversation, it is her husband. These are 13 of her sharpest moments, and 13 feels like the right number here for obvious reasons. Number 13 goes back to a magazine interview in 2016, during the stretch when the media had turned cataloging her dating history into a genuine sport. Pushed on years of coverage about her relationships, Taylor did not get defensive. She simply laid out the reality of it, explaining that she had gone on a completely normal number of dates in her early 20s and been publicly torn apart for it. Then she went further, admitting she had almost been conditioned to believe it was somehow her own fault because the reasoning always handed to her was that she wrote songs about it, so perhaps she should not have dated those people at all. It was not a viral soundbite, it was something better, a calm and complete dismantling of a decade of tabloid logic. Number 12 rewinds to 2008 to a couch on a daytime talk show where a teenage Taylor volunteered information nobody had even asked for. She revealed that Joe Jonas had ended their relationship in a phone call lasting less than half a minute.
It's all right. I'm cool. You know what? It's like when I find that person that is right for me and he'll be wonderful. And when I look at that person, I'm not even going to be able to remember the boy who broke up with me over the phone in 25 seconds when I was 18.
Then came the detail that made it legendary. She explained that she had gone back and checked the call log afterward, discovered the whole thing had taken 27 seconds, and suggested that had to be some kind of record.
It was like a record, I think, for how quick. It was like I looked at the call log, it was like 27 seconds.
Oh, no.
That's got to be a record.
She did not need a rude interviewer to trigger it. She brought her own receipts to national television and calmly ended a man's public reputation without ever raising her voice. Number 11 addresses the criticism that followed her for the longest, the endlessly repeated claim that all she writes about is her exes. Her answer to that was not defensive at all. She reframed it entirely, explaining that songwriting is the ultimate form of being able to get revenge.
If it's not love, it's about nightclubs. But how do you feel when people say that you write about boyfriends?
Anybody saying that a song is about a specific person is purely speculating.
Yeah, right.
And they're going to do that, but the most important thing for me is maintaining artistic integrity, which means as a songwriter, I still continue to write about my life.
Yeah.
I could very well water it down.
In one sentence, she took a criticism designed to make her seem petty and repositioned it as a deliberate creative weapon. If you did not want to end up in a song, the implication went, perhaps do not give her material. Number 10 happened on German radio in 2019, during what should have been a routine promotional interview. The host asked whether turning 30 felt like a turning point and whether she was ready to settle down and start having children. Taylor did not dodge it. She stated plainly that she did not believe men were ever asked that same question upon turning 30, and that she therefore was not going to answer it. Then she redirected the conversation entirely toward what her 30s actually meant to her artistically. No anger, no lecture, just a flat refusal to accept the premise. Number 9 goes back to 2010, to the Grammy stage, and it might be the most efficient comeback of her entire career. At 20 years old, accepting the award for Album of the Year, in the middle of a wave of commentary suggesting she did not really write her own material, Taylor stood at the microphone and said 4 words. I write my own songs. That was it. No argument, no evidence presented, no defensiveness, just a factual statement delivered from the stage while holding the biggest award in music.
Thank you so much. I want to thank my record label for letting me write every song on my album, and
Remember that one because it comes back later in devastating fashion. Number 8 is the one where she took on an actual streaming giant. In 2021, a Netflix show included a joke comparing a character's dating habits to hers, despite the fact that Taylor had been in the same relationship for over 4 years at that point. She responded publicly, pointing out that the joke belonged back in 2010 and calling out the habit of dressing up the degradation of hardworking women as comedy. Then she added a final line aimed squarely at the show's own recent output, making clear exactly how unimpressed she was. Her name trended worldwide within hours. Number 7 brought a genuine comedy legend into the firing line. On a British talk show in 2014, seated beside John Cleese, Taylor listened as he made an offhand comparison between the unpredictability of cats and women. Without missing a beat, without raising her voice, and without turning it into a scene, she turned to him and delivered a short, perfectly measured response that ended the topic instantly.
Unpredictable and cussed, like women. You know?
Oh, we don't want to do that.
The studio audience barely registered what had happened. Cleese absolutely did. Number 6 is a comeback she did not even have to say out loud because she recorded it instead. On her 12th album released in 2025, she included a track built entirely around cancel culture and standing by friends going through public backlash. Rather than sitting for an interview to explain her position on being publicly torn down, she simply wrote a song about it, put it on a record, and let millions of people hear her side without a single journalist involved. It is arguably the most Taylor Swift response possible, turning the criticism itself into product. Number 5 rewinds all the way to 2009, just days after she was interrupted on stage at an awards show in one of the most infamous moments in modern pop culture.
I'm really happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
A radio host kept circling back to the incident, despite her politely redirecting the conversation multiple times. She warned him, she redirected again, and when he pushed once more, a 19-year-old Taylor calmly stated she was finished discussing it, handed the phone to her publicist, and left him talking into dead air on live radio.
You know, like I went on The View and just kind of went through a brief overview of what went down and everything.
And I'll tell you what, last question, then we move on, okay? One more, and then I promise I'll move on, all right? Do you think, and I think it's a legitimate question, do you think that Kanye West, do you think he has
Hey, guys, we've got to move on past that question. I'm sorry. Can we talk about something new, like her record, You Belong With Me, going #1? And
yeah, I mean, I'm about to get...
this album platinum version coming out?
Yeah, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
I'm about to get to that, but, I mean, this is sort of the thing everyone's talking about. I don't watch The View. I find them very obnoxious. Hello? Oh, has she walked away from the phone?
Yeah.
Number 4 is the moment that refuses to die. Back in 2013, a daytime talk show built an entire segment around a slideshow of nearly every man Taylor had ever been photographed near. Complete with a bell the host rang after each photo, pressuring her to confirm or deny relationships that in many cases had never existed. The audience laughed. Taylor, visibly uncomfortable, asked her to stop, explaining that the segment made her feel genuinely awful about herself and made her question what she even stood for as a person.
You're supposed to ring.
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring.
Because they'll send me angry emails, and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you.
What are you doing to me? This is me.
Okay, all right.
This makes me feel so bad about myself. Every time I come up here, you put like a different dude up there on the screen. There's never been 2 guys on the screen 2 visits in a row.
The clip resurfaced online nearly a decade later, and the internet reacted with real fury, branding it bullying dressed up as entertainment, and Taylor delivered the final twist herself later revealing that several of her biggest songs, including one of her most successful singles ever, would never have existed if people had not kept parading slideshows of her exes in front of her. She did not just survive that segment, she monetized it. Number 3 took roughly 10 seconds on a red carpet in 2015. A correspondent asked a camera operator to pan down to her legs, then suggested on air that she would likely be going home with more than just a trophy that night, implying she would leave with a man. Taylor answered instantly, without a flicker of hesitation, stating that she would not be going home with any men, that she planned to spend the evening with her friends before heading home to her cats, and then adding, almost as a punchline, that men tend to get her into trouble.
I just wanted to show the legs, because as I was telling you ahead of time, you're going to walk home with more than maybe just a trophy tonight. I think lots of men.
I'm not going to walk home with any men tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and then I go home to the cats.
No men allowed.
Men get me in trouble. I got
to tell you, Nancy.
Trouble with a capital T, right?
Yes.
The entire premise of the question evaporated before the reporter finished processing it. Number 2 is where that Grammy moment from 2010 pays off. In 2022, a well-known British rock frontman told a major publication that Taylor does not actually write her own songs, dismissing her co-writing credits as not really counting. She responded publicly and immediately, stating she had been a genuine fan of his until reading that, firmly correcting the record that she writes every single one of her songs and calling the claim both false and damaging to her reputation as a writer. Then came the postscript that turned it into legend. She noted simply that she had written that tweet entirely by herself. He issued a public apology within hours. And number 1 lands on a radio interview in 2025, and it is the one that matters most for anyone following her marriage. Promoting her album, Taylor was told about a fan theory suggesting this might be her final record, the assumption being that getting engaged meant marriage and children would naturally end her career. She let out a small laugh before responding, calling the assumption shockingly offensive. Then she explained it plainly. People do not get married in order to quit their jobs.
Taylor, don't tell me this is your last album.
What? No.
I just saw some fans going, well, she's going to get married and then she's going to have children and then she's going to be the last album.
A shockingly offensive thing to say.
Absolutely. It is not the last album.
It's not why people get married.
And she added the part that reframes everything, saying she loves the man she is with specifically because he loves what she does and celebrates how fulfilled she is by making her art.
It's also like music for me is...
I think the fans were just panicking.
Oh, I know. They love to panic sometimes. But it's like I love the person that I am with because he loves what I do and he loves how much I am fulfilled by making art.
That is the whole thing in one answer. Every single moment on this list, going back to a 19-year-old hanging up on a radio host, has been about the same fight. People deciding what she should be, what she should want, and what she should stop doing. And in 2025, she finally got to answer that question from a position where the man she chose is the loudest person in the room, insisting she never stop. Looking back across all 13, the pattern is remarkably consistent. She almost never raises her voice. She rarely repeats herself more than once before simply ending the conversation on her own terms. She corrects the record, refuses the premise, and moves on. And the people who tried it, whether talk show hosts, radio DJs, rock stars, or entire streaming companies, ended up apologizing, deleting posts, or quietly disappearing from the conversation entirely. Being underestimated might be the single most useful thing that ever happened to Taylor Swift, because every time someone tries it, she simply waits for her turn to speak, says one clean, unhurried sentence, and lets everyone else scramble to catch up. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.